Welcome back to Highlight Movie Recap. Today I'll show you a comedy, suspense, crime, and betrayal drama film from 2025 titled Buried Secret. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. Obinna finally accepted the contract with a mouth-offering salary of $500,000. All he wanted to see is where the agreement stated his monthly salary of the said amount, as he appended his signature without going through the terms and conditions. Chief Olawale told him some of his job descriptions, which were more than what he was told earlier of just being his daughter's driver. In addition to his job description, Chief also briefed him of what happened to the last person he took over from, who is still in the hospital in stitches after what his daughter did to him. Obinna still didn't care. All he wanted was the agreed half payment that he was supposed to receive before resuming duty. Just then, Kemi came in and was introduced to him by her father. Kemi was pretty comfortable with the smart-looking young guy, but after much thought, she asked him if he is sure of working with her for a longer period. The dude was also convinced of his abilities. Chief Olawale was traveling for a short trip. He knows that Obinna will deliver only if he follows his instructions, which are no visitors. He should make sure that she doesn't go out, and if there is an emergency, Obinna must call him first. The other staff members also were called upon. Obinna was introduced to them as Kemi's personal assistant and asked them to put on a well-behaved manner as he left. Bukola welcomed him first with the belief that he wouldn't last for 7 days, while other staff members believed that 3 days was enough for him to last in his new job before he was hospitalized. Obinna told them that not everyone is like a fool, as the others, and as the PA to the madam, he commanded them to all leave the living room as they mused at what he was trying to do on his first hours on duty. Kemi called her PA to have a word with him. He is intelligent enough to know that he must not cross his boundaries with her kind of personality. Kemi was trying to hold her anger with him not adhering to a simple instruction of sitting on the bed. Obinna tried to catch his breath with her stringent attitude. She told him that she is a nice person regardless of what he might have heard from the others. The only problem about her that he had to deal with is her intermittent explosive disorder that makes her very aggressive whenever she gets upset, and also hurt the people she loves so much. Obinna just sat there like he understood everything she had said. All she wants him to know is that she is working on it to becoming a better person. Just then, a call came in. It was her boyfriend. He wants her to come over to his house. Kemi asked Obinna if he would let her out. The smart young man tries to be diplomatic by letting her know that the order came from her father. Kemi hated to ask the same question twice, as she was already at the top of her voice. She was getting impatient and grabbed the fork in her plate to display. Obinna gave up that she was free to go out with all honesty, and she dropped the fork. Kemi felt bad again for doing the same thing she promised not to do just a few minutes ago and blamed it on him. Obinna accepted the blame and insisted that she goes. She saw that he was afraid and asked him to sit, but he preferred to stand with a reason that he has been driving since morning until she raised her voice again. Obinna just had to obey or become a victim in his early hours on duty with the fork already in her hand again. She asked him about the other staff members allowing her also. He told her that it would be okay if he called them to hear from them. He was about to leave when he remembered to pick the plate. Kemi was curious to know why he wanted to take the only weapon she had by her side. This was when Obinna knew that he was in for his $500,000 paycheck. Obinna knows that the other staff member's opinion doesn't matter if she goes out as the PA. He wants them to have a taste of what he is also passing through. Obinna knows his job as a PA. He welcomed them in and asked Sarah to have a sit on the bed. Sarah wouldn't try such a thing. Obinna wanted them to know that Kemi isn't a bad person and shouldn't be judged by what she does because he sat down on the same bed with her, with his legs crossed, and nothing happened. Kemi asked him to tell them about what they talked about. Sarah, Fatai, and Bukola denied getting involved when Obinna told them. He was smart enough to push Sarah at the front to tell Kemi by herself. Sarah knew the implications of accepting that Kemi is allowed to go out. She saw the danger ahead with the fork in Kemi's hand as she was about to stab one of them. They all agreed to let her go out. Kemi appreciated them for understanding and asked them to leave. Obinna drove Kemi to her boyfriend's house. He sympathized with the guy for dating a lady with such an outrageous character as he watched them get into the car. Kemi enjoyed David's company and asked him to come with her to her house since her father wasn't going to be back in days. She asked Obinna for his permission. He knows that accepting will be bridging her father's trust even when he asked her to call Chief. Obinna knows that anything can happen to him from behind if he says no to her, so he accepts without a choice. Obinna came down to open the door for his boss after they got home and slammed the door on her visitor. David found his way out through the other door and patted him on his shoulder for a job well done as he watched them go inside, only if he knew the level of inconvenience he has brought on them for allowing a stranger into Chief's house with Kemi. Fatai challenged him for his unaccommodating decisions as they exchanged words. Obinna wants him to know that he also has intermittent explosive disorder. Bukola liked to see actions displayed, so she gave them weapons to hit themselves. All Sarah wants is a swift solution on discharging Kemi's guest. She believes Obinna can go in to let him know. Obinna suggests that they let him know on a written note without the knowledge of Kemi. Bukola liked the idea. She tried to chip in with her own opinion, but Fatai countered it. It resulted in an argument as Obinna brought knives to help display in a fast and reliable way. Sarah and Bukola got drinks for them with the intention of passing him a message with a written message under the tray. David saw the paper and read it out loud to Kemi, which says that if he likes his life, then he must run or be hospitalized. Perhaps Obinna knows what will happen next as he hears Kemi at the top of her voice. David was already getting scared with Kemi's irrational behavior. She couldn't hold her anger and threw the glass at him. The other staff members were also worried about what could be happening inside when Shegue walked in. He just came back from the hospital for treatment. At this point, there was a problem. The first question he asked was, who wrote the letter? Sarah accepted that she wrote the letter as he applauded her good work. Obinna picked up his phone to voice record all she had to say as he asked again. They were all happy and accepted that they all wrote the letter, including Shegu, who just came in. Obinna needed more details about what she wrote on the letter. She told him that she included on behalf of the Chief Olawale's staff. Obinna knew that he was in trouble, so he opened up to them that Kemi was about to do the unthinkable upstairs. All of them immediately went into retrogression by blaming her for writing the letter. Just then they heard Kemi scream. They all rushed in to find David laying lifeless on the ground. Kemi blamed all of them for writing such a horrible letter. Obinna immediately shifted the blame to Sarah as everyone went into commotion. Sarah summoned the courage to check if he was still alive, but he was already dead. Obinna couldn't believe that this was happening on his first day on duty. Running away was his next option, but the security man wouldn't let him. They had to come out to clear their head. Bukola already felt the spirit of the dead around with the chair jolting. They angrily pounced on her for always making jokes in every seriousness. Kemi felt very remorseful for dragging her father's name to the mud as a murderer. They had to console her, else one of them would become the next victim. Obinna suggested that they go report to the police that Sarah is the murderer for writing such a letter. Just then his phone rang. It was Chief. Chief asked him what was happening. Obinna was about to escalate how it all happened when Chief interrupted that he heard the meter was about to finish. Obinna was quick enough to change the whole narration that Kemi wanted to boil water, so he noticed that the unit was getting exhausted. Chief hung the call when Obinna told him that everything was fine. Kemi felt bad about disappointing her father. She made up her mind that they were going to bury the corpse. They went to a distant land to bury the corpse and promised each other to keep the secret confidential. The next morning, Obinna and Bukola were having a little disagreement when Sarah rushed with a message on her phone. Bukola also got the message from a strange number who was about to blackmail them. Obinna also got the same message from the blackmailer as they were all restless. Kemi woke up with the disturbing noise. She asked them what the problem was, and suddenly she also got the same message. Kemi got furious after asking everyone to keep a secret. She asked Obinna to call the remaining staff. Obinna called them and asked them to sit and make themselves comfortable. Shegu was unlucky to be at the receiving end as he got a hot slap for not being sensitive enough that there is a problem. Fatai also got the message and immediately called Obinna. At that point, everyone blamed Obinna at the very minute. Just then, they all got another message, which said that they should drop 1.5 million naira at the gate or get exposed. Obinna was intelligent enough to find a lead from the message, which was written incorrectly. He tried to let them know that among all of them, the only person who can compose such a grammatical error in English is Bukola. She swallowed him at that moment for falsely accusing her and rained curses on him. Kemi finally agreed to go check her father's room to give them the money. To Obinna, this wasn't the best idea because as a street boy, the street does not negotiate with terrorism. Kemi went in and searched everywhere. She finally found a bag filled with money. Kemi gave Obinna the money to go drop it at where the blackmailer asked them to drop it. Kemi received another message that they should drop it outside the gate and all go inside. Obinna had no choice, even when he still insisted that they report to the police. Everything seems to be okay now, but the message kept coming. Fatai got the message first and had to show Obinna, who was not in the mood after his experience in his new job. He saw the message of the blackmailer demanding 2.5 million naira, but chose to believe that it wasn't true and was already tired of the job. Obinna blamed everyone because negotiating with a terrorist is the greatest scam. Kemi read meaning to what he said, but the deed has been done. She was going to give in to their demands, but this time with a trap. This time she was going to connect the cameras in the house with her laptop to see who comes to pick up the bag. They were on the lookout on the screen when a man in a mask came to pick up the bag, and from all indications he was aware that they had a camera fixed to watch him. Just then, they all received messages on their phone again, with a demand to bring out the most expensive car in the compound. Kemi was already tired and asked them to all retire to bed so she can think about it. Kemi came up with a plan the next morning to give the blackmailer the car with a phone inside to track the vehicle. This came as a good idea, so Obinna drove the car out. But something became suspicious. At that point, Sarah came out to ask where the phone tracker was placed. Kemi had to show them when to know that the car was about to leave with a dot on the map. Sarah came in to tell Kemi that her food is served. She asked them to remain vigilant and call her once they saw the car moving as she went upstairs. Bukola so much believed in Obinna as she paved the way for him to take charge. Sarah then brought food for them to regain strength for the night. Even while they just ate dinner some hours back, she insisted that they should eat more. Kemi came down to find them all sleeping. She rushed to check the status of the vehicle, only to find out that it was gone. She checked again and found out that it was still within the premises. They all rushed out to see for themselves. After waiting for a while, the laptop showed that the car was within, but they couldn't find the car until Kemi found the tracking phone removed from the car and kept it for them to pick up. Obinna was tired of the game. His instinct told him that Bukola is behind this, and if not her, he believes that there is someone leaking out the information. Just then, another message came in saying that it was a good attempt, but I'm always ahead. See you soon. At this point, Kemi knew that there was a Judas amongst them. She was going to find out as she asked them to all bring out their phones. Obinna was so eager to find out the culprit. She was going to use the phone to flash the scammer's number, and whosoever the scammer returns, the call is the suspect. This was a very smart idea to Obinna. He couldn't even imagine how ruthless he was going to be to the person as he kept facing Bukola. They opened their phones one after the other as Kemi flashed the scammer. After some minutes, the scammer called Obinna's phone. Bukola was the happiest person in the room. Obinna saw this blackmailing and wouldn't accept it. He picked up the call. The scammer called his name and asked him for an update, and then ended the call. He has to convince them that he is innocent and calls the scammer back. The scammer asked him why he was sounding strange and ended the call again. At this point, everyone pounced on him. Bukola wished she could skin him alive. After all said and done, Kemi passed her verdict that since her father will be back tomorrow, on no account should Obinna leave the compound. This time, Bukola took it upon herself to make sure that she dealt with him. Obinna believes in himself to be way too smart to be used. He was going to make his own investigations before Chief returns from his trip. Kemi allowed him to check what he wanted on the CCTV footage and asked him to leave. He also came to meet Fatai while he was asleep and grabbed his phone. He was on a mission no one knows about. He also went to Sarah and Bukola to make his investigations by checking their phones, even when Bukola kept giving him quarrelsome attitudes. Obinna commended Bukola for succeeding in her plans. He knows that she wouldn't get away with this. Obinna woke up the next morning with a text message on his phone about bringing the documents of Chief's house. To him, this was getting out of hand. He went to meet Sarah to ask her what she thinks, without telling her that a message was sent to him about the house documents. Sarah advises him to give the blackmailer the documents if that is what will save him from going to jail. Somehow, Obinna found out that Sarah was the masterminder. Chief was back. He was so disappointed with the damages he was welcomed with. His car and foreign currency were all gone, at the detriment of his daughter who killed a man in his house. Now they want his house. Chief felt so bad, and most especially to Obinna, whom he left the house in charge with and kept calling him, and all Obinna kept saying is that everything was fine. He promised that Obinna will rot in jail. Chief found out Obinna was masterminded the plan from his daughter. Obinna knows that he is finished, so he opened up that after many investigations, he found the same ring that the scammer had was the same with that of David from the CCTV footage. He did not stop there. He went to where they buried David to find out that everywhere was cleared. And as a street guy, he went further by collecting their phones and blocked the scammer's number, only to find out that it was only Sarah that got the message aside from him. The question now is, who do you think is the masterminder? Thanks for watching this movie recap. Please comment your thoughts and also like and share this video for more super amazing videos that we're bringing to you. And if you're watching from our YouTube channel, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification for more. Thank you.